High-speed data networks, these are networks which provide access to the internet, which means they're transmitting large amounts of information throughout the internet at very high speed. Now, there are properties of these that it has to transmit information fast, reliably, and efficiently as possible. But I'll get to those properties. So these data networks are communication systems which are designed to transmit information over the internet. Now, in order to transmit information over the internet successfully, they have to rely or use advanced technologies like fiber optic internet. They have to use wireless systems. They have to use um, cable internet, including broadband connections. But I'll get to broadband connections in the next video. That's how they provide fast and reliable access to the internet. Now, the reason why they're called, or I describe them high-speed data networks, is because they support high data rates, which are usually mentioned as, or called rather, as high bit rates, which are usually measured in megabits per second, sometimes in gigabits per second, to enable a vast array of activities that you can do online, like streaming videos or 4K videos, HD videos as well. Online gaming is possible because of these high data rates. Their video conferencing, like your webinars, your video calls online. Um, what else? Anything that relates to video conferencing, including remote work or online collaboration. That includes real-time communication because of these high data rates. Now, at large, they form an infrastructure um, which builds up the internet. That infrastructure connects homes, it connects businesses, it connects schools, it connects government into this global internet. Now, the internet is usually a global system as we understand it today. It's a global network of these interconnected computer networks which are communicating, exchanging information, or transmitting those large amounts of information using standard protocols such as transmission control protocol and the internet protocol itself to exchange information worldwide. Now, the internet is usually referred to as a network of networks, which means it connects millions of public or private, sometimes academic, business, and government networks into this one massive global communication system, which is called the internet. Now, as I've described it as a global network or global system of these interconnected computer networks, that simply means that it links or connects billions of devices worldwide. That includes desktop computers, it includes laptops, it includes servers, routers, it includes smartphones, it includes iPads, including IoT devices like smart TVs, smart fridges, sensors, etc. Right. Now, each and every device which is connected to the internet has to be connected through various communication technologies that I've already mentioned, like your wireless systems, yeah, like Wi-Fi, including satellite internet, like fiber optic internet as well, which is the most advanced way to access the internet, fiber optic cables or internet. Those are all the communication technologies which these devices are connected to the internet. Now, each and every device that's connected to the internet needs to be assigned an IP address. That IP address acts like a digital home address, which tells the service provider who is requesting the information, where the information is requested from, and it also allows the information to be sent or received accurately across the network or across the internet itself. Now imagine you are using or opening your website, your device, whatever device you're using, it's a smartphone or a laptop, um, your device is sending a request to a server somewhere in the world. You don't know what the server is, but it's sending a request to that server somewhere in the world. Now, that server sends back the requested data or the web page content back to your device by using your IP address. That's how it allows information to be transmitted accurately across the the network or the internet itself. And then there are standard protocols or communication protocols, such as, or the most basic ones are like your transmission control protocol and the internet protocol that I've already mentioned. That's how the internet works. The reason why it works because all these devices, these billions of devices that I've mentioned, um, they follow these communication rules, which are called protocols. Now, the TCP and the IP protocols are the most basic form of internet communication. The internet protocol ensures that, or it's responsible for addressing or assigning an IP address to every device that's connected to the internet. That's what it's responsible for, addressing and routing data throughout the internet, which means it ensures that data packets are, they're sent accurately or to the correct destination. They're data packets because information is transmitted as data packets. Those data packets need to be broken down into smaller units, and those units are usually called packets of zeros and ones because that's how information is represented digitally as zeros and ones. Those data packets represent a data as units of zeros and ones, and then the internet protocol then has to um, ensure or assign the source or the destination IP address to each and every data packet. Then there's a transmission control protocol, which is, another basic form of internet communication. That is like it ensures reliable transmission of information like online or throughout the internet. It checks that the data packets have arrived like correctly to the destination. If because it can happen that the data packets, those data packets of zeros and ones, they can arrive to the destination um, out of sequence. So it has to reorder the packets um, if they arrive out of sequence. Sometimes the packets can be lost in transmission, and then the transmission control protocol then does the request of retransmission of these data packets if they're lost. Now, together, the TCP and the IP protocols, they ensure that whatever data I send from my computer, or let's say a smartphone, in one location can reach reliably to another computer somewhere or anywhere else in the world, right? Now, the internet at large, it allows, global communication or global data exchange, which means that it has enabled communication in many different forms in terms of information sharing, in terms of communication, in terms of business and commerce, in terms of education and research, and in terms of entertainment as well. Now, when it comes to information sharing, you get information via websites, via blogs, you get information through online databases, through digital libraries, and not only that, there's information sharing through um, I forgot this other one, but as I remember it, then I'll mention it. Then there's in terms of communication, there are email systems which are used worldwide, instant messaging like your WhatsApp, social media, a voice over IP, which is known as VoIP as well. And then there's communication of global communication in terms of like in business and in commerce through e-commerce, online banking, not only online banking but digital marketing as well, like marketing through YouTube, websites, or apps. That's digital marketing, including like cloud computing as well is enabled by the internet. There's also entertainment, streaming services, your online gaming, music platforms, and content creation platforms like your YouTube, your TikTok, and so on. Then there is education and research um, part of the internet. That's where you access, online learning platforms, your virtual classrooms. Beyond virtual classrooms, there are, academic research databases and knowledge sharing institutions. So since the internet operates like 24/7, it's not like the forex market. It's like operating like Monday to Friday. It operates 24/7 and spans the entire globe. Since it spans the entire globe, that allows instant communication within milliseconds. Within milliseconds. That's important because it implies low latency. And then there are certain characteristics of the internet which describe what the internet really has become. And that is the internet, has global reach, which means that, it connects nearly every country except a few countries due to geopolitical political conflicts. Places like North Korea, those places or regions usually don't have internet or internet access, but the internet connects nearly every country, so it has global reach. And another way to describe the internet is that it's decentralized, meaning that it's the same like blockchain. It's decentralized. There's no single organization or company or group of people which have entire control over the internet or who own the internet infrastructure. Of course, there are tiers of the internet of service provider, first tier, second tier, and third tier service providers. But the internet is also very scalable, which means it it's continuously growing as more devices are connected to it. So as Apple releases more smartphones every year, or laptops, whatever computers that are released, the internet is expanding. It is highly scalable. Now the internet is said to be a packet switch network, which means that data through the internet is transmitted as packets instead of as a continuous stream. Now the last key characteristic of the internet is what I've already talked about or mentioned, which are these open standard or communication standards. So the internet is built upon internationally accepted standards or protocols or communication protocols. Next, I'll talk about broadband connection or broadband technologies. See you next time.